Today I'm going to break down the 2012 to 2017 Kia Rio. The Hyundai Accent within the same years is basically the same thing. Let's break down all the common issues. You can't see it here, but the CV axle boots like to go bad and ultimately cause clunking when you drive around corners. So you'd have to replace the CV axles. You'd have to jack out the car, remove the wheel, remove a few of the steering components, then finally remove the CV axle. I actually did it on a Hyundai Accent on the same generation. Not too hard of a job, but it does require some specialty tools and a torque wrench. This next issue is a very common issue, especially with these cars and cars with cheap headlight housings, which is majority of cheap cars coming out, is foggy headlights. And let me show you a quick and easy way to fix them. Grab a degreaser. I'm using Simple Green. Go ahead and clean the headlight. You can get a cutting compound, a drill, and a buffing pad attachment to the drill. They're very cheap, got off Amazon. I have all the products I use linked down below for your convenience. Doesn't matter too much where you apply it. Grab the buffing pad, apply it on the headlight, and get to work. Careful for the paint. This is gonna lift up all the oxidation. And just like that, we brought life back to the headlight. You can spend a lot more time doing this, but I'm pretty happy with this job right here. And if you want more of a professional job, you can use Cerakote, which I've used in the past on my Tahoe, and I'll link that video down below. The next issue is the brake rotors like to go bad prematurely. They either warp or they gain scratches around the whole rotor. I actually just replaced all the rotors and brake pads on this car. It's fairly simple, it's time consuming, but fairly simple, and braking is very important. And of course, I have that video linked down below as well. And typically when rotors go bad like this, it's probably due to very hard and inconsistent braking. Like if you're on a highway and you stop really hard and quick, putting them in unfavorable conditions because this car is not a sports car. And you may feel pulsating of the brakes if this is happening. Another issue is a loud car ride. It's not really an issue, it's just a complaint by many owners. It's a cheaper car, so that's what you should expect from a cheaper car. A louder car ride. It's not a Volvo, it doesn't have a high amounts of sound and an amazing chassis. It's a reliable, if you take care of it, cheap car. Now before I get to the last issue, I want to discuss a few things. I've seen these motors, the 1.6s, last about 300,000 miles, but that you have to take care of it properly. The gas mileage is like 27 to 37 miles per gallon, which is fantastic. And you can easily find these cars at around 100,000 miles for $5,000 to $6,000. Sometimes cheaper, sometimes a bit more expensive, which is great for a 2012 to 2017 model. But if you're worried about safety, don't buy this car because in a head-on collision, it's not the safest car. But I mean, I drive typically older cars and they're not that safe. This isn't my car, I'm working on it for someone, trying to help him out. And I decided I wanted to check the oil. This is after I've already added half a liter of oil. When I got the car, the oil was right there. But now I have the oil right there. If I had more oil, I would add more oil. And this typically happens due to carbon buildup. And running oil, you don't ever want to have your top end assembly to look like that. They start slow, then they can increase depending on how well you take care of your car. But typically burning a little bit is just fine. And you can run these cars for a long time with burning oil. You just gotta keep it topped off and take care of it. The carbon buildup likes to gunk around the piston rings, which basically prevents the pistons from sealing properly. What I find causes this the most is that people drive their cars very lightly. They don't drive it like it's meant to be driven. So if you have one of these cars, then drive it throughout the whole entire rev range to try to clear up some of that carbon buildup. I don't know if I would recommend driving this one particularly that way because it's so gunked up. I'm gonna clean the car real quick show you how to do it without a hose, and wait to the end, guys. I have something to tell you. I have 2 buckets of water here, and I'm gonna use this no rinse wash and shine. That's probably good. I pump and spray. And you need a microfiber towel to dry it off. Pump, pump, pump it up. We are doing 1 panel at a time. So go ahead and wet the hood. I'm starting with the hood. Basically what this does is it encapsulates all the dirt and allows you to grab it. I'm gonna grab my soaking wet towel and just kind of rub lightly. I'm not putting any pressure. Now I'm gonna put in my dirty water. I'm gonna do that again. I'm gonna give a little bit more attention to little spots that need it. Remember, don't scrub. Don't scrub too hard at all. So 1 panel at a time, I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of the car. Okay, so I'm glad you made it to the end because I have to tell you something. The owners of that car was running low on oil. They typically take it to a Take 5 or another mechanic alike to get the oil replaced. None of them said that they have been burning oil. But funny thing is, in the recent past, they replaced the catalytic converter. If you follow my channel, you know that if you're burning oil, it's gonna clog up your catalytic converter. So no mechanic at all talked to them about what is probably causing these issues, which is terrible. And I feel so bad for them because if you're paying top dollar to get something fixed on your car, the mechanic should take the extra step and tell them what's going on. That's what a good human being would do. If you want to learn how to check your oil, check this video. Or if you need to replace your brake rotors and brake pads, check out this video. This is Chris AutoMotivate. Always appreciate and respect one another. I'll see you in the next video.